How's everybody's singing voice this morning? Got your masks on, so okay, nobody will hear you that well. We get to sing some fun carols. It goes by so quickly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Here's another favorite. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Whoa! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Fun it is to ride and sing this sleighing song to this morning. Oh, let's do it one more time. Jingle bells, we'll be awake after this. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Well, good morning and welcome. It's so nice to see you here today. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and I'm so grateful that you're all here today. Thank you all who are here in the sanctuary with us for being here. Thank you all who are watching us live on live stream. We're so grateful for your presence, and thank you for those of you who are watching during the week. What we want you to know, if you're new to Unity, for Unity is a worldwide inclusive spiritual movement welcoming people from all walks of life. People who are looking for a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. People are looking for spiritual growth, spiritual transformation, or to simply do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Brenna Franzen as our platform leader, Deborah Winters as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano, and Ronnie Beck on drums. And so we will begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Deborah leads us in song.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their glorious strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him who showed birth angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, our newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
And welcome to Unity Palo Alto. My name is Brenna Franson, and I'm thrilled to be here with you all this morning. Good morning. Unity is a part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education. We help people with practical, positive affirmations to help them apply these principles that we're going to talk about today, each and every day, to live a more joyful and abundant life. Unity is a spiritual movement. We're welcoming, inclusive, and wherever you are on your path, you are welcome here. We have 5 core principles that help us on our path. And the first one is God is. There's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in our lives. That is God, the good, omnipotent. The second principle is that God is the essence of every substance innate in our being, every person and all of creation. Our third principle is the law of mind action. Thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect our world through positive affirmations. We also do this through our fourth principle, the practice of prayer and meditation. This connects us with the creative, constructive power of God that works in and through us. And that fifth principle is that this happens every day. This is the practical application. As we live according to these truths daily, we are becoming each and every day who we were created to be. And Unity calls that the Christ consciousness. All right. These 5 core principles guide us in our path and living our vision statement, which I'm going to affirm first, and then you can affirm it with me if you like. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. Together? Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. We now continue our service with a call to worship.
All is well, all is well. Angels and men rejoice. For tonight, darkness darkness fell into the dawn of love's light. Sing alle, sing alleluia. All is well, all is well. Let there be peace on earth. Christ has come. Go and tell that he's in the manger. Sing alle, sing alle, all is well. Born is now Emmanuel. Born is our God and Savior. Sing alle, sing alle, all is
Today we're celebrating the third Sunday in Advent. Advent is a time of spiritual preparation, preparing for that birth of that individual who achieved this Christ consciousness. And in unity, of course, we look at it from the spiritual perspective, a spiritual preparation within each one of us. And so today I light again the candle for faith, symbolizing that awakening of that creative expression, that creative energy that flows through each one of us. I light again the candle for peace, symbolizing that inner peace that is required that we generate and create within ourselves so that we can more fully and freely express that divine nature. And today I light the candle for love, the harmonizing energy that flows through the universe, that connects us one another, that creates community, that creates this idea of oneness.
Today's daily word is love, and our affirmation is, love lights my way. Will you affirm that together? Love lights my way. In this Advent season, as I prepare my heart for the rebirth of my inner Christ child, I take a moment to connect with the spirit of love within. Sometimes this season may seem to be about presents, food, celebrations, but it is really about love. Love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. Especially at this busy time of year, I want to stay attuned to the love of Christ within. Through this reciprocal power, the love I give returns to me abundantly. Love transcends all, transforming any perceived negativity into a blessing. I express love in all my words and actions. I may give a plate of homemade food or send a heartfelt note of appreciation. Whatever I do, I let the love in my heart be my guide. And our scripture is from Mark chapter 12, verse 31. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There are no other commandments greater.
Starlight shines, the night is still, shepherds watching from the hill. I close my eyes to see the night when love was born. A perfect child gently waits, a mother bends to kiss God's face. I close my eyes to see the night when love was born. Angels feel the midnight sky, and they sing, hallelujah, he is Christ, our King. Emmanuel, Prince of Peace, love come down for you and me. Heaven's gift, the holy spark to light the way inside our hearts. Bethlehem, through your small door came the hope we've waited for. The world was changed forevermore when love was born. I close my eyes to see the night when love was born.
Thank you, Deborah. That was beautiful. Well, welcome. And here we are in the middle of December. It's the time when we start to think about all of the things that we've done throughout the year, all of the things that we want to accomplish. And are you questioning whether you're doing something of importance? Some yes, some no. I see some heads, I hear some no's. Are you questioning do you have this question in your mind about whether what you're doing is making a difference in the world? Yeah. Well, we've been on this journey called the art of abundance. That is living the experience of this principle, this law, the law of abundance in our daily lives. And we've gone through this journey identifying and calling forth the 10 rules of the law of abundance as put forth by the author Dennis Merritt Jones in his book, The Art of Abundance. 10 rules for living a life worth living. So as we move through this process, we're getting to the end of our journey here, and it's really become an art, right? It really is an art to get ourselves to be connected with and in that idea and in that spirit, that energy of abundance. And when we do, when we're living in that consciousness, then being of service, being a catalyst for good in the world is a natural occurrence. It's just what happens when we're actually living that principle. We began by, of course, identifying that idea that there is only one presence and one power in the universe. That idea that the universe, that we are one with God, we're one with Spirit, whatever you want to call it, whether it's isness, the universe, but that universe is an infinite supply of good if we're willing to connect with it. And because we're one with the universe, we're one with each other. We have a connection, a spiritual connection with each other and with all humanity. And when we set our intention and put our attention on living that principle, on bringing it forward into our life, in all areas of our life, then we begin to understand this idea, this principle of abundance. And when we are courageous and of service to the world, and when we understand that we are blessed, then we begin to live into that principle of abundance and express it as prosperity in our life. Prosperity in all aspects of our life, in our relationships, in our career, in our creativity, in our cleanliness, as I discovered this last week as we were cleaning up the yard, getting ready for the decorations. Expressing that in our finances, in our challenges, in our conditions, in this thing called being human. Anybody here experience being human? Okay, I got 3/4 of you that are awake. Good. Just checking. But when we step into this idea, the natural occurrence is that we are a beneficial presence in the world. So let's break this down a little bit. The last thing I said is that you are blessed. Would you affirm, I am blessed? Would you affirm that with me together? I am blessed. How'd that feel? Good, bad, ugly? Yeah, it's a little bit of both, huh? Because sometimes we don't feel blessed. Sometimes there are conditions in our life or things that are happening where we look at ourselves and we say, gosh, this is pretty hard. And yet, the way we're looking at this is more from a spiritual perspective, right? As unity, in unity we don't say that we are born with original sin. That condition doesn't exist. Sin is something that we develop over time. It's our error thinking. It's our thinking that we're separate from God. It's that dualistic consciousness of victim-victor. Even the vessel consciousness is still dualistic because there's me and then there's God working through me. But when we get down to it and get to the point where we can express it and understand it as God working as me, I'm the hands and the feet and the voice and the ears of this divine essence seeking to express itself. Then we have a deeper understanding of oneness. And when we have that understanding of oneness and we're working and we know that everything that I do and think, my consciousness, affects the whole of the world, affects the whole of the consciousness. When we start to live that blessing, then we're lifting up the rest of the world, the rest of the consciousness of the collective, the allness of life. And so when you live into that, you are already lifting up the world. You're already being a beneficial presence in the world. You're already doing it. And you're being a catalyst for good simply by how you show up in life. Simply by that energy that you're expressing with each other. You're expressing to one another. You're a catalyst for good. I'd like to read a quote that the author includes in his book. It's a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. It really boils down to this, that all life is interrelated. We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. What an amazing enlightened statement, this idea of oneness, that whatever we do as individuals affects the whole. So it does bring up a little bit of, do you feel the weight of that? There's a little bit of weight there, because now it's like, oh, I'm in charge of, if my thoughts and ideas and words and actions are affecting other people, then gosh, I better take responsibility for it, right? It's not lost that that's one of the laws. Be accountable for your consciousness. Not everyone else's consciousness, but your consciousness. Be accountable for the things that you are thinking and experiencing. And when you find yourselves off track, don't blame, shame, and guilt yourself. No BSG here. Just go back to being a blessing. Go back to your practice, your spiritual practices. Getting back into alignment. Getting back into that idea that you are blessed and that you are a blessing. Just a simple shift. Getting back to our intention to express that and putting our attention on our thoughts, words, and actions. One of the challenges that we have in all of this, first, is knowing that we're blessed. Knowing that we have an impact and an effect on other people. Now, I think even from a human level, we understand that, right? It's certainly the other people out there, all those other people, they have an impact on us, don't they? Have you ever walked into that room or somebody walks into the room and all of a sudden the whole atmosphere goes dark? Or the other way around, someone walks into the room and all of a sudden the atmosphere lightens up. Everyone's excited. That person's energy, that person's thought is having an effect on other people. Now, here's the challenge as metaphysicians, as spiritual students, you have to recognize that when that energy comes in, you allow it to affect you the way it affects you. You allow it to affect you. So you can decide whether that seemingly dark energy is going to affect you or not. You get to choose. You can decide when that jovial person comes into the room as how it's going to affect you. That's your choice. You have the ability to hold your own boundaries, your own emotional, spiritual boundaries, and you own everything that's on the inside of that boundary, which is your feelings, your emotions, your excitement, your enthusiasm, your thoughts, your beliefs. So when we live into that spiritual practice and that idea, then it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. If somebody comes in here with a dark attitude, well, maybe mine's to be of service and be a listening ear. Be compassionate. Hey, is everything okay? We always have that choice to show up and to know that we are blessed. Know that we are here to express and experience that which we're here to express. Another challenge that we have is when we're going through this, when we have this idea of prosperity, right? There's the idea of not enoughness. That person's more prosperous than I am. That person has that swanky house down in Laguna Hills. And I've got a postage stamp house in Palo Alto, which, by the way, is incredibly prosperous. Or someone might be living in a trailer park, which, by the way, can be incredibly prosperous, depending on your consciousness around it. Some people, that's their choice. They want to do that because they're using their funds to do something different. But it's all about how we look at things. So that sense of not enoughness is one of the challenges that we have when we're looking at how we can do good in the world. Right? We're measuring ourselves and how much I'm doing versus someone else. I'm doing a lot of good out there, but all of you people out there, you need to step it up. Right? So now what are we doing? We're creating, instead of a sense of community and connection and oneness, we're singling each other out. It's now back to our dualistic victim-victor consciousness. Another challenge might be, I'm so prosperous, and I'm hoarding it. It's mine. Woohoo! The reality is you can't really hoard it because it's an idea of flowing. The more money, if you want to look at money as that idea, the more money that you build and develop over time, which is not a bad thing, just what are you going to use it as? It's that potential energy that's waiting for you to use it. Maybe as a retirement, or maybe to help a kid go to college, or maybe to give a gift to a cause that you really believe in. Maybe it's to eat, keep the lights on. But that sense of hoarding that we do, it's like that this principle is that it's always flowing. And yet we want to build a dam. And then we build a dam, the water, bubbles up and it washes out all of our land, and then it spills over and it continues flowing. You can't contain it. The principle is always active and always flowing. You can just decide how much of it you want to receive. You can decide how much of it you want to give to the village next door to you. You can decide how to use it. That's your choice. And so one of the challenges is getting beyond that human ego-ness. That's a new term, human ego-ness. They're hyphens, it's all one term. That human ego-ness that says it's not enough, I'm not enough, there's not enough. I need to store it for me. When we can move beyond that human ego-ness and allow it to flow, then we're able to do more good, to be a bigger catalyst for good. When we put our intention on doing something that is good for the world, on being a beneficial presence, and then put our attention on it, when we start to move in that direction, you can't help it but be in the flow of that abundance. And you say, this is what I'm going to stand for. The wonderful thing, this is really where the advent of love and the art of abundance intersect. This idea of love. I'd like to share with you what Charles Fillmore said of it in The Revealing Word. The definition of love metaphysically from Charles Fillmore's perspective: love is the pure essence of being. The pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it. It is the great harmonizing principle known to humankind. So when you combine that idea, this harmonizing energy that is innate within you, as one of that aspects that is within you, an aspect of God or an aspect of that Christ consciousness, an aspect of that divine nature, of your higher consciousness, of your higher thoughts, whatever you want to term it, when you combine that idea, that harmonizing principle with the things that you're doing and growing and being in the world, then by definition you are a catalyst for good. Because it's not just for you, but it's for all of humanity. Combining that idea, and I think that's what's so powerful about that quote earlier from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that's why I think he was so powerful, because he combined that idea of love, that harmonizing power, with an effort to create more harmony in the world, with an effort to create more justice and equality, so that we can know our oneness with one another. In the book, Jones says, we each have something innately good to bring to the table, to the relationship we have with all humankind. This is when our generosity of spirit, which he defines as the sharing of the unique essence of who we are as spiritual beings. So your generosity of spirit is your willingness to share of who you truly are, of who you've come here to be. When that combines with the spirit of generosity, the sharing of what we have as earth beings, as human beings, when we merge that idea of who we've come here to be, that idea in the Christmas season or the Advent season, we call that Christ consciousness. That is innately within every person. Even if you call it something different. when we combine that innate goodness that you are with the expression of who you are, with the expression of the things that you have and the things that you do, you are a catalyst for good in the world. And the practice here is really looking at it from a standpoint of awareness. You have to bring your awareness to it. So how often, you've heard the phrase, what's in it for me, right? Everyone heard that phrase? Sometimes we may have thought of it. You know, someone comes along and says, John, I want you to do this. Well, what's in it for me? Whenever we go on a job interview, we're looking at that, right? Here's what you want, and here's what I want. So what's in it for me? And here's what's in it for you. And hopefully we agree. So the practice here is to shift that a little bit, that consciousness. It's to move from what's in it for me to what's in it from me. What am I bringing to this situation? What am I bringing to this relationship, to this condition, to this idea? What am I bringing to the world? How am I being a catalyst for good in this situation? When we consciously put our mind on being a catalyst for good, then we start to create good. And when we start to create good, we're opening the floodgates for that good to flow through us, as us. That's when we really are connecting with that idea of oneness. Being a catalyst for good in the world connects you directly to the secret of creating an abundant life, your oneness with the universe. When you're guided intuitively to do the right thing, the world benefits greatly from your being alive. In turn, you benefit greatly from being alive. Anyone want to benefit greatly from being alive? I'm down for that. Here are some practices, here's some questions that you can ask yourself. And this is something to bring into contemplation, right? To really dig into. And your answers may change over time. But what is your intention this week? What is your intention this week? To be a catalyst for good. In the midst of all of the traffic, in the midst of finals, in the midst of projects, in the midst of procedures, what is your intention? How are you going to show up? What hidden agenda or self-righteousness are you willing to give up? One of the biggest challenges we have is that, you know, we're all here to do good. As long as you do good the way I think, you should be doing good. You got to do good the way I think you should do good. Let go of that. Because you are responsible for one thing. What is it? Me. My own consciousness. Not yours. I'm not responsible for that. But I can show up in a way that illuminates you, that gives you some inspiration, that shines some light that you might be able to see reflected in the light in you. We can show up that way. Did I read this already? Being a catalyst for good in the world connects you directly with the spirit of creating an abundant life. When you're guided intuitively to do the right thing, the world benefits greatly from you being alive. How will you be a beneficial presence in your world? Today, this week, how will you be a beneficial presence? There are a lot of things that we're going to do, I guarantee it, between now and next week. There are a lot of things and stuff that's going to happen. We did some stuff yesterday. We were driving. Ethan wanted to go buy a gift for his girlfriend. It was her 16th birthday, so we dropped him off at Kepler's. And then we went to get some food in Menlo Park, and there was traffic everywhere. The parking lots were packed. What are you guys thinking? It's the holidays or something? It's like, yeah, life keeps going. Life keeps going. So what are you going to do to be a beneficial presence in your world as you go and do the stuff? How can your consciousness be lifted when you're doing the stuff, whatever that stuff may be. And then what is it from you this week? What are you going to contribute to the world, to raising that collective consciousness? What are you going to contribute to the world to be a beneficial presence? Without the human ego-ness of saying, I did so many things this week, y'all need to catch up. Without the human ego-ness saying, well, they did X, and I have to do Y to show them that I'm doing more. Whatever is here for you to do, know that you have within you that divine essence, that goodness that you're here to share with the world. So what will that look like for you this week? How will you allow it to be that guiding presence? Because the reality is, you are blessed. You are blessed with every breath you take, and with every breath that is breathed into you by this divine essence of life, love, and wisdom. You can do good in the world. And that's why we're here. Especially during the holidays, to connect with each other from the heart. To connect with each other, that really is the heart of Christmas, which is our theme. The heart of Christmas. I like to conclude with a poem that my mom wrote just this week. It's called The Heart of Christmas. The heart of Christmas is love. The hand of Christmas is giving. Let your heart and hands embrace with all gratitude and grace. And start each day with Christmas in your heart. Let us take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'm going to begin the meditation with our affirmation, which I almost forgot. Sorry, booth people. The affirmation that we say is on the screen. I'm just going to wait for a moment because I got ahead of myself. So back up one section, Felix, if you can. Thank you, sir. The affirmation is on the screen. I'm going to read it once, and then I invite you to internalize it as I'm reading it and allow it to fill you up and permeate your mind so that it becomes who you are. And when you express it, when you say it out loud, it becomes a truth for you. I am a conscious, open, and willing conduit through which good flows. Would you affirm that with me together? I am a conscious, open, and willing conduit through which good flows, through which God flows as God. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we allow ourselves to sink into that idea. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze as we let go of all of the experiences around us. With each breath, we allow our thoughts to come to a settling point. With each breath, we allow our emotions to just simply dissipate. And if they arise again, we just bless them and allow them to be. With a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we attune ourselves to that infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. With a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we align ourselves, our thoughts, minds, our body, our actions, our spirit, with that divine principle within. Knowing that it is infinite, knowing that it is ever present. We allow that healing energy of divine love to flow in through and as each cell in our body, each thought in our mind, and through each breath we take, resting in it. Resting in the stillness of the silence. With that energy of divine love, that harmonizing energy of the universe flowing through you, affirm, I am a conduit, open, receptive, and willing for good to flow. I am a beneficial presence in the world. I am a catalyst for good in my life. And with that divine energy of love, that harmonizing energy that flows through me, I express that to all the world today. And with that energy of love flowing through us, let us give thanks and celebrate by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
And with that joyful energy flowing through us, with that energy of divine love radiating as us, we bring our attention back to this time and this space, opening our eyes if you haven't already done so, and just allowing that energy of love to fill you up and to be a part of who you are today. Unity Palo Alto is here because of your generous donations. We're here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence that is within each one of you and to express that magnificence in your life every day. If you feel uplifted or inspired by our spiritual community, we invite you to make a donation, and there's so many ways in which you can give to our spiritual community. One of the ways that you can give is through our pledge drive, our 2022 pledge drive, as we move into a time of planning for next year, for what next year will bring us. 2021 has been like a dream. It's like it has just flown by. Bye-bye. So if you would take into your heart what Unity Palo Alto means to you, and just let us know if you need a pledge card there in the back of your pews. You can, if you're on our mailing list, you probably received a letter from us, and that letter's on our website as well. So whatever you have to give, whatever you are giving into this experience here, give it with love. Give it with the energy of love. Allow that energy to permeate you. The affirmation that we say is on the screen. And I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and then affirm it with me together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Joyful, joyful, we adore you. God of glory, one of love. Our hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. God of glory, one of love. Our hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Hearts unfold like flowers before you. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. All your works with joy surround us. Heaven and earth reflect your ways. Stars and angels sing around us, cantor of unbroken praise. All who live in love are thine. Lift us to the joy divine. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Hearts unfold like flowers before you. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. Oh, yes. And hearts unfold like flowers before you. Oh, joyful, joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. I have a microphone now. Thank you, Deborah. Happy Sunday. Love you all. All right. There are so many wonderful ways to connect with Unity Palo Alto and share the good news that we are. All right. First off, we have Sharing Abundance Sunday, and this is this month we're sharing. We're going to do announcements first. And our first announcement is our Christmas Eve candle lighting service. Are we excited for this? All right, let's come together, celebrate the light that is always shining within you this Christmas Eve. During this special service, we will celebrate the season with singing, candle lighting, and a special message that focuses on the spiritual and metaphysical interpretation of the Christmas story. You will receive a candle with a unique affirmation meant just for you, and at the end of the service, we will light the candles and sing Silent Night. Feel free to be uplifted, inspired, and filled with joy. Proof of vaccination is required for this service, and we also have a potential option for online viewers. We are putting together a holiday packet for our upcoming special services, so if you're planning on watching us online, we're happy to mail the packet to you or have it here at Unity for pickup.
So this includes a candle with an affirmation for the Christmas Eve service, a special paper for our burning bowl or melting bowl service on Sunday, December 26th, and a white stone for our white stone service on Sunday, February 2nd. All right. I think those are all the actual announcements we have. So for this and other opportunities, you can go to unitypaloalto.org, and on our social media channels, there are so many good ways to share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. We are the good news. You ready to affirm that with me? We are the good news. Awesome. So, for all of you who are in the sanctuary, thank you so much for being here, and let us save our hugs for outside after the service. If you are watching us online, go ahead and pop on over to that chat box, either on YouTube or Facebook chat, and greet each other. You can put your hand out into the world or on your heart to send out that love in unity. If this is your first time or you're back from a long absence, we would like to say hello. We invite you to let us know in the chat if you're online, or stand here so that we can recognize you today. We are all veteran Unity Palo Altoans. Welcome back, everyone. We invite you, if you are online and new, you can always fill out a connection card. If you're physically in the sanctuary, it goes in the back, or at unitypaloalto.org/live, you can fill it out there as well. Happy Sunday, everyone. Now is Sharing Abundance Sunday, and we are sharing our abundance this month with the West Central Youth of Unity, and Julie Grabscheid is going to introduce that.
Dear Unity Congregation, my name is Julie Grabscheid, and I am the chairperson for our Sharing Abundance Committee. Our team, along with Reverend John's Blessing, is pleased to let you know that our December recipient is the YOU. We thought it would be a perfect way to end our 2021 year of giving by focusing on our Unity youth community. The Youth of Unity, otherwise known as YOU, is an international youth group for teens that encourages and assists in their spiritual growth, creating connection, and helps them to express their authentic selves. Our West Central Youth of Unity hosts regional leadership retreats and weekend rallies where they will bring teens together from across Northern California and Nevada to create a safe space for teens to discover their spiritual magnificence. The YOU is youth-directed and adult-guided, and it's a place where the youth can come as they are and will be totally accepted for who they are, which of course we know is the perfect child of God. So thank you, Unity Congregation, for this donation to our YOU and Youth of Unity.
Julie, and thank you, West Central Unity, West Central Youth of Unity. We're going to bless you now, so you can put your hands out if you like. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the expression of love that you are. Thank you. And now I invite you to stand as we sing our song of peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We're so grateful for you to be participating in this shared spiritual experience with each other. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being online with us, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. And now let us say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.
Joyful, joyful, we adore you. God of glory, one of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. God of glory, one of love. Our hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Hearts unfold like flowers before you. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. Joyful, we adore you. We adore you. And hearts unfold like flowers before you. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. 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 Oh, thank you. We love that song. It's so fun.